Hi and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. I'm sure you haven't forgotten yet that last week was Easter. I won't be able to forget until all the Easter eggs I finally received are gone. Yes, I am being good. I'm trying to have it little by little instead of all at once. But it did get me thinking, what difference does Easter make? For me, this is a lesson in not overindulging, a lesson in self-control if you like. But more seriously, what difference did it make to this world when Easter happened that first time? As a Christian, I believe that God loves this world because he created it and created everything in it and on it and around it. That didn't change. However, something very significant did change. A couple of thousand years previously, Moses and the Israelite nation left Egypt. If you've been watching these sound bites from before Easter, you might remember some of the stories I've shared about that. Well, after they had escaped, they found themselves in the desert and they made their way to a mountain called Sinai. While they were there, God gave Moses a whole series of laws to guide the people. Front and centre of this law were the 10 Commandments. You might have heard of them. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to look at a couple of them each week. I hope to be able to give you an idea of what they are, but also how they might still be relevant today. This week, the first 2 commandments are this. First, to worship only God. And the second, not to worship anything else, whether that's something you've made or something else in nature. So as I was thinking about what I might say about those today, I found myself thinking about telling people what to believe. And how that makes no sense to me at all in today's world. I suppose we're often told what to believe. The media, does it all the time. But ultimately it's up to us what we choose to believe and who we choose to believe. And in reality, I can never know for surely what you are thinking, what you truly believe about a particular subject. Often our actions and what we say can reveal something of what we believe. But can we ever know what's in someone's head in full? When it comes to matters of faith, I suppose I could tell you on these sound bites what you should believe. But would that make a difference? Personally, I think that I can tell you something of what I believe and why. But then I have to leave that with you to decide what it is that you believe and make up your own mind. I often think about life being like a journey, and we learn things along our way that can change our beliefs. But anyway, back to the first of the 2 Ten Commandments. God instructs the Israelite nation to believe in him and to worship him and only him. No questions, no debate. It's the law. So then what difference did Easter make? I think the answer is in a way Jesus answered a question himself about the old law and these commandments. It happened just before he died. He was asked which of the commandments was the greatest. And his answer changed things, I think. He changed the wording. He said, love God and love your neighbour. And after Easter, when the church got started, that was foundational. It was based on love. It wasn't based on a command or a law that said, you will love, you will worship God. It was based on here's God who's done something amazing for you in what Jesus did on the cross. How are you going to respond? If you respond with love, then you end up loving God, you end up worshipping God, and you do what he asked to love those around you. That is what Jesus was about. That's what I believe he demonstrated. His motivation for living and dying in the way that he did on a cross on Good Friday was love. It was love for me and it was love for you. Love for this world that he had made. That's the difference that I think Easter made. We're invited to get to know God and to get to love him. No longer is anyone commanded to believe in him and worship him. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.